coating. So the first thing to do is prep this car by making it squeaky clean, getting off all of the road grime that it has accumulated over the last few months, and then we're going to get to work applying this ceramic base. Let's hit it. So first stage is wheel clean, arguably the most dirty part of the car, and Signature's first step is to apply a non-acidic wheel cleaner. Non-acidic is important because of course we don't want to damage the paintwork, and also the S1 has Quattro stickers on it, and so if you're going to use an acidic based application, sometimes it can damage things like that. Also, one major thing is that acidic wheel cleaner actually damages diamond cut wheels. It turns the front of them yellow really quickly and the effect starts to peel off. So the last thing you want is on your expensive diamond cut wheels is for the wheel cleaner to actually make them worse. Okay, what we've done is sprayed Fallout on a dirty wheel just to show you how much dirt is on that. Fallout reacts with iron filings, iron particles, so the brake disc itself will obviously show up the worst, but I mean that whole thing is turned purple. That's what this stuff does when it interacts with iron particles. It's just a good demonstration of just how filthy this wheel is. Okay, next up is citrus application, but this time to the lower half of the car. This is obviously the area of the car which gets built up of dirt and grime. And citrus is just a little bit more of a hardcore product to help remove that stuff off. Next up on my personal favorite bit about cleaning any car is the snow foam application. Okay, snow foam application complete. That part of the process never fails to make me smile. It makes the car look so cool. The idea, anyway, aside from the fact that snow foam looks good, the idea behind it is to lift off any surface grime, just to make sure that the car has its best chance of being cleaned before we actually get the mitts on to taking off the dirt that's clogged up. So yeah, next stage, mitts on, gloves on, let's clean it. first wash stage has been complete, but in true signature style, these guys are going over and above to make sure the car is super clean. Now you're probably wondering why I'm pointing this at the back of the car, but they've just sprayed some fallout on this car. Now don't forget, it's been washed, it's been snow foamed, it's been hand washed, and still the fallout is bringing up these spots here where there's tiny little iron fallout, and as I've mentioned, it turns purple when it reacts with any of this stuff. So all of these streaks that you can see here, all of these dots, this is all fallout that a basic wash just hasn't been able to shift. So as you can see, it's really important that if you want a really good job, you've got to bring it to someone like this, because they go over and above and they think of processes and applications that you probably normally wouldn't do at home. Now, if you're doing a general Sunday car wash, it's not so bad. But the whole purpose of today was that we're prepping the car so that we can eventually apply a ceramic coating. So it's really important that when we seal it in, the paint is absolutely perfect. And stages like this make it so. All right, S1 has now been brought inside, it's been dried down, and this is where the final preparation begins of the bodywork before we apply the ceramic. Our first stage is the tar removal stage, and then after that, we're gonna be clay barring it. We remove tar first so that when we do use the clay bar later, it doesn't pick up any excess tar and actually end up scratching the paint. So spray time with that first, remove any excess tar, and then onto clay bar. Okay, seemingly the car was spotless, but upon spraying the tar remover, now bearing in mind this car's been washed now several times, it's been hand washed, it's been jet sprayed, it's had snow foam, we've had fallout on here, and still there are particles of tar. So this is why it's important to go through these extra stages. The whole car's been sprayed down, and it'll sit on here now for a few minutes to let it work. And then, look, you can see here, all of this stuff. Come on, focus, camera. All of these little lines here are blocks of tar that would otherwise get caught up in the clay bar and potentially scratch the paint. So yeah, important stage. Next up, clay bar. How's it looking? Yeah, some dirt and grime in there. Yeah, I'm still amazed that every single cleaning stage, when I think they've washed it like 3 or 4 times, we've used alcohol on it, all sorts of products to get off extra dirt. There's always an extra process to get off even more. After this, the idea is to seal the car in its perfect paint state. Okay, next up, the car is gonna have a complete buff on the paintwork to take it back to brand new. The important part about this is any sensitive areas need to get masked off to make sure that if the buffer makes contact with any rubber or any seals, they don't get damaged. But also, when the buffer's going round, it does create quite a lot of cleaning dust. So it keeps these seals clear. So it's really important to mask off these sensitive areas. So what is the purpose? What's the point of a ceramic coating in the first place? Well, I think the best analogy for this is imagine a Teflon coating, the same coating that you get in your frying pan. It just helps things to not stick. And so every time dirt lands on it, any grease or grime, when you come to cleaning the car, the dirt just falls right off. And it also protects against any bird dirt and any sort of grime that might etch into the paintwork. It's like applying an extra gloss coat on your paintwork. Now, it's not as fully protective as a paint protection film, but it does a really good job of protecting the paint overall. And of course, it's a lot cheaper. It's around about £500, which, okay, sounds a lot for a clean car, but the whole car gets a full detail and clean down first, making the car absolutely immaculate. Then the ceramic coating gets applied, and that has to sit and cure for around about 24 hours. So yeah, what's actually happening is that you're getting your car detailed back down to as it was from factory, and often much better. And then you're sealing that perfect paint in a glorious layer of ceramic.